What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, happy big news day. Oh, man.
There's a whole lot of news going on.
Dude, big
it never
news
stops,
this morning.
But these are some big moves.
Yeah, we got some breaking news this morning. Let's get into today's show. But before we get there, you can join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But if you can't join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern, join us later inside the game.ca podcast services, TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, today's show, Embracer Group goes on another spending spree, acquiring more studios. Oh, man. Yep. Here we go again. Jeff Keighley reveals a few featured titles for Gamescom opening night live, and PlayStation adds PlayStation games for PC on their website. The transition is happening, Scott. It is real, dude.
Yeah, I think that makes it official at this point.
I think so, right? Yeah, it kind of says we're moving over to PC a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, what's the next one that's going to come to PC, though?
Uncharted 4. All right, yeah, the Legacy Collection. That one's coming. So, congrats. You'll get to play it.
Well, you know, I'm 3 for 3, 4 for 4 at this point with Sony games coming to PC. I've been pretty satisfied.
Yeah. So far, so good, right? Let's get into Embracer Group. Big news this morning. Woo! That was a big shocker to see. Completely changed our show up today. But Embracer Group makes more acquisitions, including The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings IP. Big move, Scott. Big move. Chris Scullion over at VGC says this: Embracer Group has announced another round of acquisitions, acquiring the rights to The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. In a series of press releases made this morning, the Swedish company announced that it had agreed to acquire a number of companies, including Middle-earth Enterprises. Man, they're picking up as much as possible. Dude, at this point, though, they're going to get Ubisoft next. The deal will give Embracer Group a vast intellectual...
I'm hoping for Warner Brothers.
Save them.
Take Warner Brothers and liberate that
Discovery
system for the rest of us.
Oh, please do something with that. A vast intellectual property catalog, worldwide rights to motion pictures, video games, board games, merchandising, theme parks, and stage productions relating to the iconic fantasy literary works, The Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Big move, dude. Let's get into some of the other companies that they've gotten as well. They picked up this morning because
dude, Lord of the Rings has to be one of the largest entertainment IPs out there.
I was gonna say, besides Harry Potter, I would think so, right?
Oh, before you get into Star Wars and the like.
Star Wars, Harry Potter, and then Lord of the Rings.
Probably the entire
Marvel's another IP. They will never buy up Disney. They probably would try.
No.
They'll try.
I'm wondering if Disney's going to buy a country. It's more likely.
The company also announced plans to acquire a number of video game companies, including Limited Run Games, Singtrix, Tuxedo Labs, and Tripwire Interactive, the team behind one of our favorite games, Scott, Maneater.
I thought so. I remember Tripwire. I remember them from somewhere.
That's why. It also launching its 11th operating group, which will be named Embracer Free Mode, and will focus on the retro, classic, and heritage gaming category, as well as investing in iconic gaming and entertainment properties. Dude, Embracer Group, how deep are their pockets?
Yeah, making some serious moves here.
Huge moves. Under the Free Mode name, the company has also acquired Tatsujin, Bitwave Games, and Geotech. They're just shell it out, buddy, man. Let's just keep going, right? According to Embracer Group, the acquisition of Middle-earth Enterprises, Limited Run Games, Tuxedo Labs, Tripwire, Singtrix, and undisclosed company have a combined upfront cost of $6 billion SEK. So it turns out to be about $576 million, Scott.
Holy.
Just, dude, their pockets are running deep. I wonder if they're going to dry up soon, but they keep acquiring absolutely everybody and anybody at this point, which is
this season of acquisitions. Everybody seems to just be trying to one up the other.
Absolutely. That's it. Just, man. But speaking of acquisitions of limited run games, Embracer CEO Lars said, as an avid collector, I've admired limited runs collection editions. They built a strong brand that resonates with players. Quote, we have opportunities for limited run to further grow their business with the Carbon engine by bringing back classic games and extend their footprint geographically through synergies with other companies within Embracer Group. Dude, expect a whole new line now for limited run to get into and tap into and just explode even more. Right? But dude, they're not done. This is just like the end of what we've kind of come up to so far. The Swedish company announced in May that it plans to acquire a large part of Square Enix's Western development arm for $300 million, which was a bit of a steal because they're getting Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix Montreal, and a catalog of IPs like Tomb Raider and Deus Ex.
Yeah, there's a huge amount. Like they own the gold mines now.
Dude, they are one of the fastest growing companies I think we've seen in a very long time, with just purchase after purchase after purchase. They acquired THQ Nordic, took on the name, and then from there switched over to Embracer Group because THQ just wasn't all that. Like they were more like the AA, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
THQ, they own a huge amount of old and kind of buried IPs, from what I recall. So there's a huge amount of ingredients here that Embracer has bought up that they can produce a lot of serious heavy-hitting titles.
Absolutely.
And recover a lot of this money. This is an astronomical amount of money, though.
This is huge. This is absolutely massive. The amount of companies that they pulled in just under one umbrella, right? The Embracer keeps expanding, but dude, it's all under one company at the end. What's up, Nate? Nate joins us over on Twitch. It's man, it's incredible.
Bring back the old red faction, he says.
Well, maybe they will. Honestly, maybe they will at one point because they have the ability to do that. We're gonna see maybe hopefully some of these games see the light of day that we thought would be buried under Square, buried under some of these other companies that aren't really doing anything with them. Dude, they should buy Konami.
No, I never considered that even as possible, but I suppose it is.
I doubt it is because they're so involved in their pachinko machines and everything else over there that they've shied away from some of their gaming IPs. There's rumblings that they're coming back for it, but at the same time, dude, just maybe they can just buy up Metal Gear.
Yeah, just buy it and sell it back to Kojima. That would be a move.
Wouldn't that be?
I don't know if he even wants it, but
probably not. But dude, let's get into what else they own, because here's some other companies they own: THQ Nordic, Koch Media and Deep Silver, Saber Interactive, and Gearbox Software. In December 2021, purchased French board game company Asmodee for $3.6 billion, its largest acquisition to date. They also own, I'm not done. You ready? I'm still not done. Dude, like I'm running out of space here. Last year, it acquired Borderlands developer Gearbox up for $1.4 billion in 2020 and purchased World War Z and The Witcher port developer Saber in the deal for $525 million. And then back in March, Embracer acquired Dark Horse Media, one of the leading US comic book publishers, for an undisclosed sum. Man.
Okay, just an absolute entertainment juggernaut. They're picking up 1 million different things, including 100 million different IPs. It's crazy. What kind of new Lord of the Rings are we going to get out of this?
Okay, so now that they picked up Lord of the Rings, right, they have the ability now to get into the movie side of stuff, TV shows, like whatever they want. Apparently there's a 4-year stint on this, so I'm curious to see when we're going to start seeing any of this kind of take into fruition moving forward with the IP. But just Embracer isn't just a video game company anymore. Dude, they are branched out into multimedia. Right? They want to be absolutely everywhere. And the IPs that they have, they can do all this crossover work too. So they can get into now producing all of these IPs for video games and then bring them over to comic books and bring them over to television. Look at Sony now, right? Moving over from the gaming side, still obviously strong in the gaming field, but they're also now incorporating the movie side. Embracer has the ability to do that as well. Dude, their pockets are just as deep.
I'm hoping that this kickstarts a whole lot of new development a whole lot of new excitement based on old IPs, because we have a
Yeah.
ton of new stuff that we've experienced this whole past year, but there's still a lot of things that I'm not ready to leave in the past. One of them being Lord of the Rings games, although Gollum is still coming around the corner.
Yes. So do they own? Who's making Gollum? Do they own them?
I'm not remembering actually right now. I feel like it is one that I'm gonna remember, but
I'm looking up right now. It is Datalek Entertainment. I think that's one of the companies they don't own. Maybe they don't own them, right? They're coming for them next, Scott. But
well, contractually, they must be able to continue their project.
I would think so. Absolutely. They'll be there for sure. I don't think there's any worries about that. They'll get to finish up what they're working on.
In the same way that Deathloop had, or still made it to PlayStation before that acquisition went through.
Yeah. Well,
are we ever going to get Deathloop on Xbox though? I've seen that talked about recently.
I think so, dude. It's only a matter of time. It's a timed exclusive, right? I think it's not a PlayStation exclusive. It's just a timed event. So at one point, I think we even saw it come up in the Xbox showcase, the Deathloop logo. So it's only a matter of time. It's just how long does that sit under the wraps of Sony until they can finally put it up on Game Pass.
I hope it comes up on Game Pass. Yeah, that's where I will play it.
It will, absolutely will. Scott, huge moves this morning. What a big day for Embracer Group. Once again, acquiring more studios and just some big names. Hopefully, we'll see some of our beloved games come back. I know already that Crystal is working on another Tomb Raider title. So that's exciting to see where that goes, right? Between Crystal and Eidos. So Crystal Dynamics right now is making Marvel's Avengers. What happens with that IP? Right? What happens with that game? They have other plans, but dude, all they drop is skins. Skin. I don't care about skins. I want something to play. So
maybe this is the acquisition that breaks them from that little corridor there.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. But
you talk about Konami being bought up and how that would liberate Metal Gear. Now I'm thinking of Arcane Studio. Let's get some Dishonored going. Who can buy and restart that?
Yo, Lee joins us over on YouTube. Says Microsoft should buy Embracer Group. He's like, yo, right? Can you imagine? They don't. Activision
Plot
Blizzard.
Twist. Nintendo bought it.
Nintendo. There's still.
Hey, I don't want to count them out yet.
No, I never count out Nintendo, but it does make me question, where are they at with all of this? You see Sony buying studios, you see Microsoft buying studios, Embracer Group sweeping up half the industry now, right? Who do you have left? Square Enix is still on their own. Talks right now about PlayStation purchasing them. And then you have Ubisoft out there and maybe a couple others. So, like, what is all left? It doesn't seem to be too much. A lot of indie stuff, which is... I don't think something that they're really kind of looking towards right now. Let the indies kind of carry everybody else until the AAAs start dropping out, right? So once we get God of War, then what do you play? Well, you look for another indie title, right? And that kind of keeps the industry going and moving forward. A lot of cool indie stuff in the works as well. But as of right now, man, everybody's just getting bought up left, right, and center. It is freaking crazy. But there's Kyle too. Hey, Red Faction. Everybody wants it back, man. Yo, give me my Deus Ex back. I want it. Give it to me. Scott.
Yeah, I want another Deus Ex.
Okay, let's move. Dude, we're halfway through the show. That's topic number 1. Let's get into topic number 2. Should we? Maybe. We can stay here all day, but let's get going. Gamescom opening night live will feature new looks at Sonic Frontiers, Hogwarts Legacy, and more. Because of Marcus Stewart over at Game Informer. Gamescom kicks off next week with opening night live. We will be live streaming that event. So make sure you swing by here and join us. The annual showcase of trailers, reveals, and announcements hosted by Jeff Keighley. The presentation is generally on par with E3 or Summer Game Fest when it comes to delivering significant news. And we now know a few of the major titles that will appear at the Summer Games Fest. Twitter account revealed that ONL will feature world premieres for... It's not really a world premiere anymore. I guess if it's never before seen, then I guess it is somewhat, but it's already been revealed. Sonic Frontiers.
World premiere. They're just trying to find a way to use that voiceover.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a drinking game.
It's very effective.
I do love it. There's no doubt about it. Hogwarts Legacy, the Callisto Protocol, Scott, there you go, and Return to Monkey Island. Nice, dude. I'm excited. The art style has thrown me off a little bit, but I can power through without a doubt. I'm just excited to get back into the world of Monkey Island. But that usually
I'm so excited for Callisto Protocol.
I know you are. That usually means we'll get new trailers for each game, whether they'll be gameplay, story, or both. Of course, other titles will be shown as well, including Dying Light 2's Bloody Ties DLC and Telltale Games The Expanse. I'm excited to see what that one is about. We've seen a little teaser on it, and that is it. Have you seen the show? I gotta watch the show. I hear it's really good.
I haven't seen it, but a lot of people have talked about it from my time in Elite Dangerous. Everybody was all about The Expanse back then, but I never actually did catch it. But if it's anything like Elite Dangerous, it's exactly my kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, no, it definitely does sound cool. So I'm looking forward to checking out more. You think we'll see? What are you expecting to see there? Anything on God of War? How can God of War not be there, dude? It's got to be.
I would. Yeah, I would have thought that perhaps if Sony's bringing a heavy feel to the show, then I'd expect it. But at the same time, we already know the release date. So is there much they could show us?
Yes. There's lots they can show us.
That wouldn't be spoilers, though.
Yeah, it is funny because I'm on right now. What was I? I'm on Media Blackout for a lot of stuff, right? Well, obviously, God of War Ragnarok is definitely on the radar. I don't want to see anything. I saw stuff getting posted the other day. Hey, leaks here, leaks here, leaks here. I'm like, nope, I am out.
I avoided 2 of those so far myself.
Nice. I'm like, yeah, we covered this industry, and I'm still not looking into that stuff. I don't care. I don't want it spoiled. You gotta have that fresh experience. That's right. Get out of here, Grub, and your leaks. Sometimes,
sometimes,
yeah, exactly. But Open Night Live, dude, I'm thinking I would like to see Starfield. Anything on Starfield would be nice to have something there from Microsoft, right? Have a big presence there, and that's one of their biggest heavy hitters. Not coming out until next year gives us the ability to see that.
Redfall, perhaps,
maybe something on Scorn.
Could be a little bit too close because I think that is October, perhaps November this year.
Yeah, but November is God of War, right? So there's that. Skull and Bones probably be there. Like there's something from Ubisoft's got to be there. So we will see. But dude, it's 2 hours long, August 23rd, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, swing by, join us. We'll be streaming it live, checking it out. We're always hyped to see new reveals, this, that, and the other. All right, Scott, let's move into it. We were talking about PlayStation earlier. PlayStation has launched an official PlayStation Games for PC page on its website. This comes from David over at PSU. PlayStation has been ramping up its releases on PC, with the most recent being Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, which you can check out over on ITG Reviews and InsideTheGame.ca. Thanks to our good friends Scott and Corey for checking that one out.
It was kind of good, I guess.
Never heard of it. Now, there's an official page on the PlayStation website which shows off its PC games, including an FAQ. The page really an FAQ as well? The page includes 2 main features: a list of the games currently available on PC, with Spider-Man on that list, of course, next to Days Gone, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Predator Hunting Grounds. Shout out to that game, dude. That game was cool. And Helldivers.
That one was short-lived in my time, but I really liked it. I've never played Helldivers.
I played Helldivers. It was tough. I had a hard time playing that.
It sounds like a diving game based on Doom.
Nah, it's a top-down isometric.
Doom plus Echo. Do you ever play Echo the Dolphin?
Yeah, well, that's going back, dude. Yes, I did.
It's a well-beloved game.
There's also a section for titles coming soon. Though, curiously, it only shows 2 titles instead of 3 we know to be for sure on the way. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, of course, and Uncharted Legacy of Thieves. Scott, hopefully you'll get your hands on that one, my friend.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
Dude, that was a wicked game. One game that is missing, though, is The Last of Us Part 1. Quick little side note, I, myself, and Steve are reviewing it for PS5. We got our codes yesterday. You can look for our review August 31st.
Oh, man. I cannot wait for Last of Us Part 1 on PC. I really want to play that game. That's the series I've been looking at for like a decade now. I love zombies. It's not all about zombies, but it's
coming. Like that, it's coming. So that it's not on the site is a little surprising. But you can definitely keep tuned for our PS5 update on that one. So I'm jumping in. Yeah, I just got it downloaded yesterday. Took a screenshot and I was like, "Oh, I'm back. Let's go." Last of Us Part 2 was my game of the year that year. Just saying. I love The Last of Us, man, and I hate horror games and spooky games.
I was gonna say, do you
have
have to hand off the controller for the clickers?
Do not touch my controller. I'm playing this thing, dude. This is my game. I'm in.
That's what I like to hear. There we go.
Yeah, it could be. Could be a tattoo in my future. We'll see. Dude, yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'm hoping that eventually they'll bring over The Last of Us Part 1 to PC as well, and then follow that up with Part 2. Scott. Right? That makes a lot of sense.
By then we'll get the multiplayer.
Oh, why you got to do that? That one hurts. Yeah, I don't know. At some point next year.
Curious situation,
dude. I cannot wait to see something. Like, we have seen literally next to nothing on this, and I'm really curious as to what's going on. They've restructured. They're more or less launching like a whole separate game for The Last of Us multiplayer. It's its own thing, story and everything included. Like, dude, I'm so in. I cannot wait. Scott, you have to get a PS5 by then so we can play.
Oh, you know that there's enough time that I should really have one by now.
Yeah, you should have had one already. Let's go.
See, I went and closed my eyes and picked the Series X. That's what I did.
Oh yeah, was it an eeny meeny miny mo thing?
Oh, basically, actually, back in the day, I really should have just bought both of them and then handled that out with Visa.
That's right. Yeah, plastic helps sometimes. It sucks when you get it too far, but let's get going. All right, let's move on to The Evil West, delayed 2 months. Will now release this November. Dude, November's starting to pile up, Scott. That's not a good sign. Dude, they gotta spread these games out. I don't get it. Evil West, the upcoming third-person Wild West action game developed by Wild Hog, has been delayed. Originally due out to September, the game has now been delayed to November 22nd, 2022. It's a little bit after God of War, so I will be done God of War by then, and probably a lot of other people. So, fortunately for those excited about the rootin' tootin' action of slaying vampires and killing other various terrifying creatures,
rootin' tootin' vampire shooting. I like this.
Dude, I'm just reading what I see here. This delay only pushes the game back about 2 months. So that's not a big deal, Scott. It's nice to see that they're just taking the time, making sure. This is the same thing, right? We just want to make sure it's polished, this, that, and the other. But it's
makes 2 months makes it believable. It is probably just polished. It's not 6 or 8 months where it's more of an issue they're trying to fix.
No, absolutely, and then it's all over with, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah. A short delay like this doesn't shake my confidence too much.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. So we'll see about getting our hands on that one and checking it for everybody here as well. Scott, we do have a couple games out today. What do we have, buddy?
We have Cursed to Golf on the PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, XS, Switch, and PC. We have RPG Time, The Legend of Wright on Switch. Timesia on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, Switch, and PC. I'm always curious when I see new consoles plus Switch. It feels like that's such a spread. Why not anyways? We Are OFK is coming to PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, and PC.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going with this?
Well, like, no PlayStation 4, but it runs on a Switch.
I see you saying. Okay. Yes. That's a good question. Oh, yeah, now I gotta look it up. We have a little bit of time here. Do we have time? We have time. We got a minute. Let's take a look. PS4 release date. It's apparently covered.
Oh,
it's I just don't think it was listed, so it's there. I believe it's there on old consoles. We actually have a code for it as well, so we'll be getting our review of it here shortly in the near future. Scott, dude, the game looks cool. I think you're gonna like it. I'm probably gonna give it to either you or Nate to take a look at. Just a little behind the scenes baseball here for everybody. So yeah, the game looks cool. I've always wanted. It's made by one person.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so I think he's had a little bit of help along the way, but it's really designed and built by one person, one individual. And dude, I'm always down to check out people who made a game by themselves, more or less, right? A lot of work goes into these things. So yeah,
complete control, creative control the entire way.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, right? Yeah, nobody tell you how to shape it otherwise. So it's so funny you see games made by one person versus like thousands of people. But it is what it is. Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But if you can't join us live, it is up later inside the game.ca podcast services, the TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.